Hello again everyone, this is Rez, your host of the 3i video series, giving you in-depth insight and information on everything you need to dominate the battlefield. The MP5 has a damage of 6, a range of 6, an accuracy of 5, a mobility of 10, and a fire rate is 5. The first attachment we'll be showing you is extended mags. The pros of extended mags are pretty obvious. With a submachine gun, you're probably going to be playing a run and gun game, which means you're going to end up in the enemy spawn and running into several enemies at once. And extended mags is much more of a must in Call of Duty Black Ops than say in Modern Warfare 2, because the health level in Black Ops is much greater. This is a replay of that last clip there. If you'll notice, he keeps strafing to the left while firing and jumps. Now obviously, since he's jumping, he can anticipate and compensate for that jump, whereas the enemy is going to have a much more difficult time because they are having to react as opposed to act. Here you'll notice he jumps through the door. Now if you're using a submachine gun and, like I said, running around a lot, then you want to jump your corners. Act like somebody is always going to be just around the corner, and you'll have a much higher success rate. Here we have the red dot sight. The red dot sight is not my first recommendation for the MP5, because the sights on the MP5 really aren't that bad, but if you don't care for the sights or just can't seem to use iron sights, then the red dot sight would be fine. As you can see, he tries to jump through the window here. Just for y'all's information, you cannot jump through that window. But most of the time, I would recommend that you jump through the window, which entails jumping and then crouching while moving forward. That is going to allow you to get through that window much faster. Also, you don't have to grab onto the window and climb over, which allows you to keep your weapon in hand and be able to fire if need be. In the future, I'm going to be doing a video on kill streaks, the best ones and the best way to get them. But just for your information right now, if you're going to go for a high kill streak such as dogs or the hind, the Blackbird is going to be a very good choice, because that gives you real-time information on where the enemy is and which way they're heading. Here he does something that I like to call the Texas two-step, and that's just because I'm from Texas. I've actually never even seen the Texas two-step done, but in this instance it just means moving in and out, up and down, never standing still, being an extremely hard target to get a line on. Here you can see he just picks up a scavenger bag and goes ahead and throws a grenade over towards A, which is being capped. If you have scavenger and there's blue bags laying around everywhere, just pick them up and throw grenades. I cannot tell you how many times I've just sat and picked up one bag after the other, especially like close to a domination point, and gotten 5 or 6 kills just because I was throwing grenades. The attachment he's using right now is rapid fire. Rapid fire is my #1 recommendation for the MP5, especially if you pair it with fast reload. That is going to put you close to an even playing field with a lot of your higher ranked players that have weapons such as the AK-74U, AUG, FAMAS, or Commando. As you can see, we have domination on Nuketown here. The MP5 on rapid fire is going to be a very effective weapon in a smaller map like this. Here he's using the bus and semi kind of middle of the map tactic, and the way you do that is kind of use the semi, or if you're on the opposite side of the map, the bus as sort of your home base, and make little sorties out into the middle of the map and kind of harass the enemy as they come to try and take B. Another good tactic for Nuketown domination is getting up in the enemy's house, which you will see him use in a clip later in the video here. I always suggest using tactical grenades such as stuns and flashes. Even if you don't even know if somebody's there, you can use it to check rooms or corners or things like that, and use it as your personal UAV, so to speak. Especially when using Scavenger Pro, because you replenish tactical grenades. Secondary weapons in Black Ops are fairly useless, so I recommend using the Law there, especially if you have Scavenger Pro, because you get 2 rockets. Because not only does the Law have lock-on capability, but it also can be fired without being locked on, so you can fire it at enemy personnel as well. But anytime you hear enemy UAV inbound or enemy counter UAV inbound or whatever, just shoot it down, because not only does that frustrate the enemy because it makes for a wasted perk for them, but also it helps not only you but your whole team. You also won't have to change classes every time there's an enemy Huey or attack helicopter or whatever it may be. So I definitely recommend the Law or the Stinger, but definitely the Law as your secondary weapon. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the MP5. Things to remember are: jump your corners, the Texas two-step, throw tactical grenades, and shoot down the enemy UAV. Recommended attachments are rapid fire, extended mags, and red dot sight. As always, I want to remind everyone that respawning is for entertainment only. Our men and women of the military are really out there fighting for our freedom, and when they die, they don't respawn. So the 3i video series supports our troops. Don't forget our upcoming strategy guide. We'll be doing an interview with a special guest on the best strategies for teams and map strategies. Also, we will be having a special guest who will be demonstrating the shotguns for us. I will be doing an interview with that guest, and I think y'all will enjoy that. I think you're going to be really surprised, so stay tuned for that. Also, remember that if you are going to win your matches, always play with friends. That about wraps it up for this episode of the 3i video series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments for me, you can email me at res@callofdutyseries.com. You can also visit my Facebook and Twitter pages, username resbands. Also, if you have any questions concerning anything Call of Duty, go to callofdutyseries.com. Thanks for watching this episode of 3i. I'll see you later.